Tyler Hamilton. I graduated from here 3 years ago now. I teach in Aurora. I'm the director of bands there, and we are going to be playing the second movement of the Dvorak.
Lunch okay, everybody?
No.
Okay, perfect. Sorry it was fast, but we'll have some more time, so I'm glad we did that. Okay, where should we start with you? If I asked you what is your impulse of will, how would you translate that?
I feel like I'm probably giving too much tempo, less.
No, impulse of will. What does that mean?
What I am able to control.
Okay. Do you like Star Wars?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So just the other day, some of the students, I went and rewatched all of the Star Wars movies from 1 all the way through 9.
Right.
It took like every night for 2 weeks, right? Because you
Right.
can't. It's just they're too long.
Right.
You need to impulse of will is like the Force.
Okay.
Like you are going to make something do something with your mind.
Okay.
That's impulse of will.
Okay.
Like the music will go this way. It can only go this way. There's not another way it can go. I don't get any sort of impulse of will from you when you do this movement. And that's why I let you go for a while, because I was waiting to see, maybe we'll get to this moment and he's going to do something.
Okay.
And then nothing. Then we got to, maybe he's going to do something here. And nothing. I also heard some really cool parts over in Wyatt's part that I hadn't heard before, so that was kind of nice. But I would love to see you invest yourself, when appropriate, and use more impulse of will to say, no, the music should go this way.
Okay.
And when you do speak, it's all very passive. And that's also part of it. It's passive, and you almost always use your right hand.
Okay.
So trying to use more left hand, be more specific about what you want, and exert more of an impulse of will. Like, no, it has to go this way. This is the way it should go. I mean, professional players want you to convince them that your interpretation is better than theirs.
Okay. Right.
That was something I learned from a few friends. I was like, what do you want? As a conductor, what do you need? Says professional trumpet player. And he goes, I just want you to convince me that your interpretation is better than mine.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. It is, because they come with something musical to say. So your impulse of will has to say, let's try it a different way. Or, hey, you know what, Ashley? I like that. Let's do it that way. Okay. And then you go on. That's impulse of will.
Okay.
Okay? Let's go again.
Before you start, players, did you sense that
Yes.
So Tyler was going to accept whatever comes flying out of your horns. If you don't like what's coming out of their instruments, of the ensemble, change it.
Okay.
Don't just accept whatever they hand you out the drive-through window. You keep circling that drive-through window, like putting the sack what you want in your sack.
Okay.
You're just accepting whatever's flying out, okay?
Okay. Beginning, please.
Can you start that first note again, but look right over here?
Yes.
Sorry, we're going to come back to what we had a second ago.
Okay.
Could you give the bassoon a more idiomatic gesture for the first note?
Yes.
If he was a string player, that might be more appropriate, but he's not.
Right. Okay.
Give him a more idiomatic wind gesture. Good, okay. Now we're going to work a little bit on quality versus quantity of motion.
Right.
Whenever you want something, you're both hands. Like
Okay.
everybody, See if it's this side of the ensemble, just use your left hand. If it's this side, use the right hand.
Okay.
If you turn to face this way, then maybe both hands are involved a little bit more. But try to get one hand here, one hand here.
Okay.
Just be more economical with how you move.
Okay.
Okay? Let's go again. Freeze. What grip are you going to use? Because your fingers are like, nope, wait, and then you just start. The fingers are like always moving. It's like they don't know where to go.
Okay.
What do you want?
This.
Okay, then do that. That's not the same one. You guys see it? Now you're like, oh, his fingers really do move all over the place.
Now I'm really self-conscious about it.
Of course. Well, it's because I've drawn everyone's attention to your like little pinky finger. Okay, here we go.
If you take a rubber band and just wrap around your fingers, there's that habit in and out.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what it does matter what the grip is. But if you got to find one.
Right.
And then you can change, but it needs to be one to start with.
Right.
All right, here we go. Okay, freeze. Good. You extended a hand to Suji. Said, Suji, put your music here. And then you left it here and you went this way. And you awkwardly left your hand standing here waiting. And, so either stay with her longer or move away from it.
Okay.
Okay, there's that. There's something else. Why is conducting important? Really why? Why is speaking the nonverbal language that important?
So everyone has the same interpretation?
Yes, and being able to actually understand how to speak it is important.
Right.
Because you can't, while they're playing, you can't talk over the top of them.
Right.
I mean, I do that, and then they'll be like, hey, we didn't hear what you said. I was like, I know, because I'm just yelling at you while in the middle of playing, and we're spread out across, right?
Right.
They don't know. So you have to make the gestures more specific, and that's my point.
Okay.
Be even more specific about what's going to happen. It's still a little passive.
Okay.
Will this get fixed today?
No.
No. But if you can resonate with it on that 35-minute drive back to wherever you're living now, right?
Republic. Yeah.
Or next time you're at Hogtied, having a great barbecue, do that. Think about how can the specificity of the gesture be greater?
Right.
To where it's not so passive, okay?
Okay.
Can we jump ahead in this movement a little bit?
Yeah.
Can we go, where do we want to go here? Let's go 23, letter A. 23, letter A, whatever it is. But does it sound like the beginning?
No.
No. So don't let it look like the beginning.
Okay.
Where's the motor?
Cello. Very sax.
Playing what rhythm?
Triplets. Da 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 da.
So let your baton emulate the triplet pattern.
Okay.
Being round.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, there's also too many things happening that you're just missing.
Right.
Where's this on here?
We just ended.
You don't have to cue that necessarily, but you have to acknowledge that it happened.
Okay.
If you don't, it looks passive.
Okay.
Especially when you get into this whole
Right.
section here. Okay. And because we can't see a majority of your face, your eyes have to be more active. You know, not that you're like, ah, all the time. But if you smile, like a real smile, the little wrinkles right here will actually crease. A fake smile, they don't. You don't know this or not? But if I, like this doesn't move right here. But if you, do you see the difference?
Yeah.
That's a real smile. You can tell between fake smiles and real smiles real easily. But with the mask on, if this isn't moving in here and nothing's happening with your eyes, your facial expression just stays mute. You
Right.
know?
Okay.
And then what people end up doing with the mask on is they just close their eyes, which we don't do that.
Right.
You know, because that looks like we're like, oh, this feels so great. That's weird. Okay, let's go same spot. 23A. Be more specific, my friend.
Okay. Sorry.
More wrist. Wrist. Hang on just a second.
Just for fun. Yeah. Okay.
I'll do it.
Okay. Oh, this is weird.
Good, yeah. So I know we have to stop, but the last thing I'm going to tell you is you need to continue to make sure, see how much wrist you can use. And I know it feels weird, but it actually looks so much better.
Okay.
See how much wrist you need to depending on how much resistance you want between your beats.
Okay.
If you don't want a lot of resistance, use a ton of wrist. If you want a lot of resistance, use less wrist.
Okay.
But right now it's all the same because it's
Right.
just passive.
Okay.
So the whole theme today was to be more specific and less passive and insert your impulse of will into their playing.
Sounds good.
Okay? Thank you, Tyler. Good job.
Good afternoon. I'm Cindy Hanna, and I am the band director at Trinity Catholic Junior High in Fort Smith, and so excited to be here to make music with you. We're going to be starting with the first movement of the Dvorak. You tall people, jeez.
Hold on. Play the hard part. That speed.
Dang it.
The really hard part.
No.
Just play the hard part. The one that you're like, this is always too fast.
The one that you.
Doogity 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 doogity. At the speed she was going. It's impossible. And I'm telling you, she is probably the best undergraduate saxophone player in this state, including probably the nearest 500 miles. Remember we talked about this earlier, you have to find tempo based on the hardest, fastest part.
Yes, and may I add to that? If you're playing the whole piece, you've got to think about that fourth movement, and you've got to think about the trio and the minuet and trio. If you get this movement so fast, not only will she die, you can't play the fourth movement, and you can't play the trio, the minuet and trio, where the cello part goes, all right? So you have to think about the whole thing. You have to think, what's the tempo marked? Tempo alla Marcy, right? I don't know about John and Brad. Sometimes I would rather have a tempo that says 83.6 as moderato, or tempo alla Marcia. You look at Brahms symphonies, they'll just say andante con moto, andante. That's hard. When I was a kid, metronomes weren't fancy schmancy on your phone. It was a pyramid-looking thing, and it had this thing that went back and forth and a weight that slid up and down. And there would be a range of tempos for moderato that would be a lot like this. You slide the weight way down, the thing goes click, 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 click. Then you'd slide it way up. But those tempos are such a wide range. Again, find a singable tempo. Boom, 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 boom. May I say one other thing? I'm talking a lot, but I hope you process this. You can't study scores in isolation. You can't study a work by a composer. You have to listen to a bunch of Dvorak in order to place this in context. For one, to absorb the tempo of what a march is in the style of this dude's country. They don't march as fast on the other side of the pond as we do over here. We don't march that fast, but you follow what I'm saying? Sing it. Right there. There's a singable tempo that'll play. And it'll give you some room to go in the trio, and it'll also give you room to go in that fourth movement. That fourth movement's tricky. Get it quick there, then the allegro molto at the end, the horn players are going, I mean, it's just a train wreck. You've got to think always in the moment, tempo-wise, but where you are every place else in the piece. Go again. Boom, 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 boom. A nice East European, Central European march tempo. It's Russian. Stop. Who's driving the bus at that moment? If your face is a spotlight, where do you want the spotlight? They're driving the bus. But old Mo Willems' children's book series, Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus, you've got to know who the pigeon is. They're driving the bus. Let them drive the bus. Hey, everybody. You're first, right? You two, hey, start it. Watch these two young women. All right, you and I are just going to listen. They're going to start. Everybody watch them. I mean, the whole ensemble's playing. But these are your conductors. Okay, let me ask you guys all this. I wanted to interrupt when you were conducting, I think. How many conductors are in this room? Every place there is a butt and a seat, there is a maestro or a maestra. You're all conducting. You need to move more. You need to watch each other more. You need to take ownership of the music. Whether Johnny Z's on the podium, me, or this talented young woman. You guys, you need to own this. Everybody's a conductor. Go on YouTube, watch professional chamber ensembles play with the sound turned off, and you can still hear them. Ladies, everybody watch them. They're going to start. I promise you, they'll know what tempo the song wants to be sung. Do you know drum, that's the most together it's been. That's the first time we've started together. What connects all these people, Sydney? One thing. We're different religions, we're different cultures, we're different lots of things, but what connects us? Breath. Ladies, do it again. Everybody start. And once they get going, you just join them. All right? Join them. Keep going. Be more visually quiet. Okay, now. There's a young man. How many minutes we got back there, Kate? Okay, good. There's a young man playing principal trumpet in the Milwaukee Symphony. He was principal in Cincinnati before he went to Milwaukee. He got a master's degree in trumpet with us, and Steve got a master's degree in conducting. And one day after rehearsal, he came up. I was thinking about the difference in coaching that you're getting with Dr. Zastoupil and with me, all of you guys. It's great, and you'll get a different take from Dr. Snow. We're all zeroing in on different things. But I want to tell you what Matt said. Matt came up from rehearsal and really frustrated after rehearsing the Meadows Wind Ensemble. He said, "Daggone it, Jack." He said, "If we stood at opposite ends of Caruth Auditorium and ran together and smashed into one another, would be the perfect conductor." He goes, "Because I never think it's good enough to move on to the character of the piece." And he goes, "You don't even want to be bothered with the details." He said, "You're showing the content of the piece and the emotional content." He goes, "And you're leaving it to the players to tune it up, line it up, and make it work." I see you engaging in band director behavior. And you're showing the organization of the piece once we got the tempo stuff. But I don't see you. You have to be the nice aunt and uncle that opens up the wrapping just a little bit the night before Christmas, those that celebrate Christmas, and show some of the content of what's inside the box. The content of a piece of music is more important than its structure. You know what I mean? No matter how nicely the package is wrapped, if there's crap inside of it, it's not a good gift. You're not letting us see what's inside. H. Robert Reynolds said to me once, he said, "I know your teacher, and he says you're a good musician, but I wouldn't know it from watching." He says, unless you have an emotional reaction to this piece and reveal the emotional content as you see it, what John was calling the impulse of will to somebody, unless you have an emotional reaction, they can't have an emotional reaction, and the audience can't. Show the content of the piece, not its structure. They can play it without us. I mean, they just proved that. That's the best playing that we've heard. All right? What can you bring to that game? Show them what this piece, how this piece feels to you. That's how you reveal the score to them. Okay? Do it again. And get your hands dirty with the sound. Don't poke at it with a stick. I tell you, you're giving a lot of beats. I don't see a lot of music, I see a lot of beats. Bob Reynolds said to me at that same conducting session, when I thought, my God, I'm paying money to be abused like this. All right? You know what he said to me? He goes, If you spend that much time giving beats, you're not going to have much time to show the music. Once you push over that first domino that you don't even have to push, these ladies can do it. You don't have to give those beats. You could just shine your light and highlight what you want. You can show some phrase endings. But again, it's down, left, right, up, all the time. Sometimes it's smoother, but it's still down, left, right, up. Go again. Show us what you... Hey, listen. If you had a list of adjectives down the side of that page, describing how that music feels and how you're describing that music. And then we had them say back what adjectives they think you've got written down. That's how I want you to do it. I want you to describe this music to these people. We're going to go for just a second. All right? Go again. Wait, Peyton, are you the one that Dr. Zastoupil said is about to get married? Yes. Then you're going to get used to being told what to do. Okay, so I'm telling you what to do. Show us what you feel about this music. I know.
Oh, okay.
That's why I thought it was particularly clever. All right, go. Conduct with your face. Okay, stop. Now I want to do you something really hard. Do you know what Professor Reynolds did to me in front of the Michigan Symphony Band? I was conducting the Irish tune from County Derry. He gave a bear hug and squeezed my arms to my side and said, "Now conduct it." I had to do it with breath, with my eyes, every crescendo, every diminuendo. Practice like that. If I Velcroed your arms to your side, how would you conduct it? You're a good musician, but as H. Bob said to me, he goes, I want you to rip open your chest and let these musicians see your soul. Show them what you feel about this piece. Everything about it. You've got the organization. You can control it. But you were nervous a little bit. But you weren't like, you didn't think that was the right tempo. Once you felt it where it wanted to be, it was fine. I mean, this is hard, right, what you're doing. And we admire you. Think about what you would do if you couldn't show it with your hands. All right? That's good. You're a brave young woman to marry that nitwit. I'm not talking about this. Okay, everybody?
Thank you.
Thank you, Sydney.
All right, everyone. My name is Luke Thomas Berenger. I'm a young conductor from Austin, Texas. Yeehaw. We're going to be doing the fourth movement of the Dvorak, please.
They are insufferable. Just be grateful you didn't wear something orange. Wearing cowboy boots, that's bad enough.
I thought I dressed pretty Texas-y today. Okay. Okay, that's okay. It's a little fast. I know I'm nervous. Let's...
What you got at the beginning then? So how do you feel?
I haven't conducted in 16 months, and I am eating myself on the inside.
Why? About what?
I don't know. I just feel, I don't know.
What's different between now and 16 months ago?
I don't know them.
What else?
I think this is the only thing I've had for a while, so I've built it up in my mind, so I feel like I have to do well.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, don't worry about that. Like, you don't have to, there's none of that. So they didn't start with you the first time. Why do you think that happened?
Because I didn't look at them, and it was way too fast.
There was some of that. It was also like, surprise! and,
Well,
there-
I mean-
and then there was like, pee going everywhere. Nobody knew what was happening.
I know.
So you need to come up and look them all in the eye. Here's a good trick, everybody. And I've told them this before. I've spelled this secret before. When you go through stuff, especially with new people that you don't know, I would encourage you to try to make eye contact with every single person that's playing at least once.
Okay.
And do it quickly, because the moment you make that eye contact is the moment you got them. And then not only are they going to keep looking up, but they're going to be more engaged in what you're giving them.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay?
sir.
But
Right.
if you start and you go kaboom and you're off, they were like, what in the world just
What?
happened?
Not
You
one
know?
of them played, so.
Yeah, so let's go get in the beginning. Good. Can I ask you a question that doesn't have to do with music?
Yes, sir.
What is the job of a good leader?
To define a directive and make it a group effort to achieve a goal.
Okay. Okay. In my eyes, a good leader empowers people around them to be leaders. So if we take that to conducting, a good conductor is going to empower them to be great musicians,
Yes, sir.
right? How do you do that from your post?
I get the feeling I'm too much in their business and they're just getting information overload.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, let's ask them. What do you guys think? Anybody? Anybody? Do I need to play like Jeopardy music or something as this is going? What do you think? Anything at all?
She's getting ready to say something.
Lauren is? No. What do you got? Dylan, what about you? You're a grad student. What could be? Well, here's a good question.
Yes, sir.
So, how do you start the beginning? Do you just prep into the second, or
Well,
do you give it?
So the
one
thing I was
shot?
thinking about is, I think it would actually be easier if I started in one, but I think the piece has to definitively be in two.
It does. You can go into one later if you want to like let it flow and let it.
I
be
feel like
flow.
starting it in one would actually be easier.
Bum, bum, bum.
Ding, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, this kind of like,
But it doesn't necessarily fit the style so much.
that's
Now,
the
I'm
thing.
going to give you a really brutal comment, and don't take this personally.
Yes,
When
sir.
you started it the first time and it didn't work, you like froze and backed up, and then you did it again, and you gave them a look that was, I don't want to say this because this is like being broadcast over Facebook
Okay.
and stuff, but it was like, how dare you not play with me? And I don't think you intended that,
No, and
but that's how it comes off. So that's something
Yes,
you have
sir.
to be really careful about.
Yes, sir, and I understand.
Because, boy, you don't want that. Imagine if this was like a job interview.
Yes, and none of them would vote for me to be the conductor.
Not only that, you wouldn't make it to the end of this rehearsal.
Yeah.
You'd be gone. So you have to establish a trust quickly. Hey, everybody, the number one way on the pathway to being a great conductor is going from distrust to trust. Not just for yourself, but for them. That's a big thing. But the pathway to being a great conductor starts with moving from distrust to trust. You don't know them, and you don't have to. I can guarantee you they are beautiful people.
Oh, I didn't mean
And not
to
that you don't. But you have to see them that way before you ever begin. You have to see them as people.
Yes, sir.
Right? I mean, just the other day, these two were gone for 2 weeks. Dude, my dad's side kicked in. And I was telling Ju Yun this. It's because their families are on the other side of the world. Well, some of them. Right? So my dad was like, I got to take care of you. I have to do something to help you. Like as fast as I could, because it's like, dad mode turns on.
Yes, sir.
And so you have to see them that way. Okay, let's try again from the beginning. Why don't you
Yes,
just
sir.
hit the restart button and go again?
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name's Luke Berenger from Austin, Texas.
And you and I are both from Texas, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So let's keep everybody liking people from Texas. Good. Yeah, this is already better. Do you think? Like you seem much more calm, which is good.
I'm still like, I don't know.
Are you nervous?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Good. Yes. Thank you. Yes,
the
you're
orchestra
nervous.
in my head always plays what I want them to.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, that's always good. Yeah, that CD player goes really well. Why do you take so many steps backwards and steps forwards? It's like doing the cha-cha-cha.
I don't know. Well,
I'm just gonna do this the whole time you're up here.
I wore the boots so they'd clank and I'd like remind myself to stop moving, but
Okay.
I
That's
didn't.
not working.
No.
Okay, who's a conductor that you emulate?
I would say my favorite conductor is Manfred Honig of Pittsburgh.
Okay. Do you watch a lot of videos and
Yeah.
do you try to emulate gestures and
Unless I find a need for technical facilitation, I don't often think about the mechanics of conducting.
yeah, okay. Well, here's I think moving forward, and I've mentioned this a little bit too. I want to encourage you to think of it this way, because obviously you're a great musician. I mean, you went to UT on trombone. That's one of the best trombone studios on the planet. By the way, we have really good trombones. You're gonna hear them in a little bit. You need to build your root system out in every direction. I feel like right now you're trying to grow the tree as fast as you can to get to where you want to go. And this may not be true, but just follow me on this.
Yes, sir.
But you need to grow the root system of your tree out in 360 degrees. And you're doing that by being here, right? But the more experiences you have and the further your root system grows, the taller your tree will get over time because you have a really wide base. You know what I'm saying? So the only reason I ask, like, who do you watch? I'm just curious. Like, you know, what do you do? Like, how do you study? How do you practice this? That sort of thing.
Mostly at home, I analyze form and harmony.
Great. Yeah, I think the more you study the score, the better. I mean, clearly you know it. You know how it's supposed to go. You have a very clear mental image of how this is supposed to go.
Yes, sir.
The hard thing is going to be breaking down this proverbial wall that's right here and getting you and them to come together to make it happen.
Could I ask if we start at C so I can
can
work
wherever
on
you
the
want.
transition?
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
sir. Can we please start at C, please?
Thank you for asking and saying please. That's so polite.
Let's do 4 before on you, please. Oh, yeah. No, it's fine. Do you have big letter C at 91?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Okay, so it's just, you don't need to play yours. We'll just do the clarinet and go in. We're starting 4 before C.
So that's a bad spot. So pick a new
Okay,
spot.
let's just start right on C.
There you go. That's a good life lesson, by the way, when you're rehearsing and you pick a spot and they don't know, and you're like, that seems like an easy spot, but clearly it's not. Just go, you know what? And then you know what you say, you joke, you go, Bailey, that's a terrible spot to start. Let's just start somewhere else.
Yes, sir.
Pick
Okay.
a new one.
C, please.
Good. Great. I'm going to tell this story as quick as I can because I think it's going to be meaningful for you. I was able to conduct for Fred Fennell right before he passed away.
Yes, sir.
We were doing Ligature Posey, the second movement. It was at a big workshop. There's a big wind ensemble. You know, Gene Corporon was sitting in the back of the room. You know, there's people all over the place. They all came down to watch. Fred was sitting about right here. I have this on videotape somewhere at my house. I just can't find it yet. I thought I would have found it when I moved, but it didn't happen. Did the second movement, Ligature Posey. I thought it was great. He looked up at me and he goes, "You have no business on the podium. You're not doing anything. All your gestures are meaningless. You're a disgrace to what's happening to the music." Yada, yada, yada. Just lit me up.
All
Man,
right.
I left in tears.
Yes, sir.
In tears. Here's this 20-year-old innocent child. I mean, I walked away in tears. I bawled my eyes out. Ironically, Nick Williams, who's now at the Melbourne Conservatory, was here a few years ago. telling this story, and I go, Nick, that was me. And he's like, oh my God, I've told 1,000 UNT grads that story. And he had no idea it was me was the one that was just obliterated by Fred Fennell that day.
Oh.
Not to say that's you right now, but I feel like you're so in your own mind about how this should go that we don't get the sense that this is a collaborative effort.
I will admit that, I mean, it's been a long time since I played music with somebody, and
Yeah. It's weird the first time back.
it's been, yeah.
It's a little weird. We all feel that way. You kidding me? Gosh, we started in the fall, and we're like, okay, y'all, I don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to do it together, and it's going to be great. Let's hold hands and sing Kumbaya, and here we go.
Yeah.
You know, see if you could, I would just love to see you do this to where it feels like you're more a part of the music-making process and
Yeah.
less like you're just yelling at them to do things.
I know, I just,
And here's the problem. 95% of professional conductors do that crap. That's how they act. And I hate to tell you, but professional musicians don't put up with it. They don't. They won't put up with it.
no, and
They look at those conductors and they give them the big proverbial middle finger and they're done. And that's how it works. And you don't want to be that.
yes, sir.
You want to be a player's conductor where players look at you and go, I care about what you're doing and I want to do this for you. I come to rehearsal every day hoping that they just want to make music with me to make something great and then we can leave. So that's the jump for you. I know we've talked a lot, right? Clearly you have talent, you're musical, all those, that's all great, man. That's all awesome. Let's just pick another spot and see if you can make music with them and not like fight them on it.
Let's go G, please.
Before you start, make eye contact and look at somebody. What do you think? Do you know the new conductor of the Berlin Phil?
Not personally.
Oh, here I do. Let me call him on the phone real quick. Hey, Petrenko. No. I will tell you, he is my new favorite conductor on the planet besides Jack Delaney. And the reason is that orchestra, I think, sounds better than it's ever sounded before with him on the podium because he's doing what we're talking about. You should go get on the Berlin Digital Concert Hall and watch him. Have you ever watched him before?
I have, yeah.
I mean, it is fascinating how the players love playing with him. More than they love Simon Rattle, I think. You compare both those recordings, that group plays more musical with Petrenko than they did with Simon Rattle. And I think it's because Petrenko lets them play. He just lets them do their thing. And you can look at the violins and they're all smiling. They're like, man, we love this. The paycheck's not bad, but we love this. You know, and that's what we're going for. Because you have a lot of talent and you've got to, I just don't want to see you turn into one of, you said you want to be an orchestra conductor.
Yes, sir.
I don't want you to turn into one of those people who like, they go on the podium, oh, here comes another one. You know? And I mean, we know enough professional musicians that that's the case. They'll get up there and they're like, oh, here we go. They just, boom, shut down. Like, who cares? This is the 10th time I've played Tchaik 6. I don't care. I know how this goes. You know, see you later. Bye.
And they'll say, boy, he or she, yep, they're coming to town next week, and they'll be the smartest boy in the room.
Yep.
You know,
Hold on. Can I say before?
professional musicians, I don't care how good the professional conductor is, they're never the best musician in the room. So that's why you always want it to be collaborative. Michael Sosa Thomas is a great example of what you just said in San Francisco. For all those decades, he had the San Francisco Symphony playing with the enthusiasm of a high school orchestra or a college orchestra.
Yes, sir.
That's what's magic about the New World Symphony.
Yeah. Okay, I have to say a couple of things before we let you go.
Yes, sir.
And then you're going to get up and do something again in just a minute anyway, so it's going to be great.
Yes.
Vulnerability is important. Being vulnerable on the podium is important. And what you're doing right now is very vulnerable. I mean, like you're basically like naked up here, letting us just rip you apart, you know, and you're taking it like a big boy, which is great. That's
well.
awesome. The other thing is this, there's a great story in the book, The Art of Possibility. And it's a story, and I'm just going to paraphrase it quickly, where these two public affairs officials, or like foreign dignitaries, are in the same room, and one guy's talking to one, and somebody comes in, interjects, and goes, oh, but so-and-so, I have blah, 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 and he goes, I'm sorry, remember rule number 6. Yes, sir, no problem. He leaves. They go back to talking about whatever political discourse they have. Do you know this story?
Yes, sir.
They talk again. Somebody else runs in the room. Hey, excuse me. Starts talking. The guy turns and goes, excuse me, remember rule number 6. This happens a third time. Guy leaves. The foreign dignitary goes, dude, you got to tell me, how do you do that? What is rule number 6? And he goes, don't take yourself so damn seriously. And he goes, well, what are the other rules? He goes, there are no other rules. You should drive home thinking about rule number 6.
Yes, sir.
Just don't take yourself so seriously.
Okay.
Music making is fun. It's not rocket science. You know?
I know it should be.
You know, I mean, they know, like, one of my siblings, what he does for a living. That's really hard. Like, what we do is just, it's fun. It's hard, but it's not a life or death situation. So we just don't take ourselves so seriously. And we enjoy making music. And if we mess up, who cares? We'll just go again. You know? But I will tell you, I would never look at those players and give them the look that you gave them when it didn't work the first time.
And
Ever.
I really apologize.
No, it's okay.
didn't.
Because, man, if I gave them that look, I would expect for all of them to just, like, step up and walk out the door and be like, deuces.
Yes, sir.
You know? So
Yes, sir.
be careful about that.
Yes, sir.
You did great today. This was fun. This was like real stuff. Not that the other stuff wasn't real, but this is like digging deep into somebody's soul up here. So good job, Luke. Who's up next? Oh, Artie's up next. Artie, introduce yourself, please.
This is nervous. Hello, I'm Artie Farrell. I'm a senior undergrad at Oklahoma State University, and we are going to do the Vorjag's Movement 2.
Okay. Right.
Let's. Go around in case you ever want to turn a page, which you haven't yet. It's easier this way than dealing with that lip. Okay.
You're looking at them. They're looking at you. I'd like for you guys to be more active in your roles as conductors. Watch each other more. Apart or socially distanced. I'd like to see your sound have an exit point. Somewhere, okay?
Just a little stiff. Come here. It's amazing how heavy one rubber band can be. This will make you a little less like a motorized mannequin. Your tip is going to be behind your wrist. It's amazing how heavy just one can be. I want to feel you breathe. I like the way Johnny Z teaches it with our mask. We can see it with when we're not wearing masks. But he talks about seeing that breath.
It's not just the initial breath preparation, it's all the breaths in between. Other thing, I know you're a young conductor. You are a young maestro. A little more fluid. Just relax. This can move. Okay. When you slow down and make rallentando, the slower we conduct, the larger we have to conduct.
Okay.
The faster we conduct, if we're making a cello rondo, we can start big and then we get small. All right? In your undergraduate class, loud is big, little is small. That's a rule. That's a good rule, but we break it sometimes. We can be really loud and really, really small. We can be really soft and really big, just like you can when you make that rallentando.
Okay.
Watch this hand, that it's not always out here masking your right. This hand is out here in one position a lot. All right? And you might as well just be throwing a navy blazer over the top of your right hand. Nobody's watching your right hand because this is out here. All right? Just relax. Let's go again. Let's start again. It's a good spot. We're learning concepts. We ain't making a CD. All right? Look at these people. I'd look at them to start because he bounces. He's coming off a trampoline. Boom, body. All right? Okay. I didn't feel the breath. Listen, when I saw John and he picked me up at the airport, hadn't seen him for a while, I didn't greet him and say, "Hi, John, it is great to see you." No, socially distanced be damned. We embraced. It's hard to be intimate from there, but it's easy when you invite them to your home. Bring them in. You were a little too far back. You know, there's a balance. I'd never seen it explained that way, the way you did with the hand. That's good. In terms of like how far is too far out, how far is too far back. I always say you don't want to be like some guy carrying a donut and a hot coffee and a Sunday New York Times under the arm. That's too far back, right? But you always don't. I didn't greet John at the airport like that. Look at all these people. Just be about right here. Here we go. Just make it intimate. Invite them to your home. Let's do it together, everybody. Take a good breath. Now, it's a little slow because it slowed down when I manipulate your arm. Just do that. I see his body breathe, but his arms haven't taken a breath yet. It's still like that. That's why I put the rubber band on your thing. Feel that rubber band holding. Feel the resistance? Maybe we need one more. You know, if this were a hammer, you couldn't move like you're moving. The head of the hammer would hold you back. That's what I want you to feel here. If we were doing the march, I tell you, chew a big wad of bubble gum, stab it, and then see if you can throw it off. But here, feel that weight. You can't rebound too fast. You can't do that. It's like trying to horse a bass out of Lake Fork brush. That your ugly stick, your pole is going to bend. All right? This will bend. All right? Look right at them. And the minute he bounces, you come right back to that young woman because she's a heck of a player. All right? I like John's word for monitoring. I would start with this dude in the cool pants, and then I would immediately turn to her and invite her to play with me. All right? Go. Cool pants. Listen, you're lucky he's a heck of a player because you didn't give him much preparation. I don't know where you guys are in your lives, Johnny Z and Brad. I've gotten to the point that I really try and help people time their breath. In undergraduate conducting class, you're taught, oh, that's too much preparation. And we're taught to give one thing. We're also taught your first move has to be up. Nobody breathes like that. You breathe like this. And one of those conducting lessons in my living room years ago when Fred Fennell was still alive, and he's in his boxer shorts, high black socks, and his undershirt. I'd say, Fred, why are you giving all that preparation? He goes, because they need it. You know, Irish tune from County Derry, or First Suite in E flat was one of the first pieces he gave me a lesson. Starts ba ba dee da, the chaconne, right, which is really a passacaglia. Anyway, and so we're taught as kids, we go to the tuba and euphonium. Fred goes, Irish tune from County Derry starts on count 2. I've conducted all over the world going, and just had people stare at me. Fred goes, why do you give all that preparation? Because they need it. Help him time his breath. Don't give him breathe, give him ready, go. Just give just that little bit. It'll help him time his breath. If you conduct string players, you got to do it. Because otherwise they just go. You have to help them time that bow. They don't, no string player plays like this. Not even a kid. No, they go. It'd be like a pianist just dropping their hands out of the sky, or a marimba player. Help him time his breath. Wait, stop. Don't move. Get ready to start. Does that look like the first sound that it's about to emanate from that ensemble? It doesn't look intimate. It looks like you're about to drop the hammer on Fanfare for the Common Man. Watch this. This is intimate. Man, you're releasing a butterfly. Watch this. You're not going to say, fly, birdie. No, you're going to go. Make it more intimate. Just relax. That's it. But you're releasing a butterfly. I like your stick vibrato. I'd be nervous too. All right? You're absorbing this bad teaching and doing quite well. All right? If you're going to release a butterfly, you're not going to go fly. You're going to go fly, you little dude. All right? Do that again. Now play. That's better. Look. That's it. Okay, stop. Now, you look like Dvorak movement 2 or whatever it is. Before, you looked like a conductor engaging in conductor behavior. Now you're in character. You're wearing the makeup and the stage clothes. You're dressed appropriately for the show now. That's good. Now, if I had another few minutes with you, I'd say, now I want you to react to those people. Now they're responding to you. Next step will be you responding to their response to you. Didn't he grow before our very eyes? Somebody came up and whispered sweet nothings in my ear and said, you know, he's in his undergraduate conducting class. I say, I don't care, you're a maestro now. Get your act together. No, I'm teasing. Way to go. You grew before our very eyes.
Okay, so we have a little 15-minute break. So
Congratulations.
feel free to run to the restroom, do whatever you need to do. Players will be back. We only have 2 more Dvorak's, and then we're going to Stravinsky, which is going to be great. Oh, that's great.
No. How about that? Hey, Johnny Z. See what this guy said? He goes,